Hello and welcome along to the Project Cars 2 Virtual Racing League, where you join us today for a brand new championship. The drivers are all raring to go after the Formula C championship that we recently ran, and now we're stepping up a gear, quite literally, because we're in the Indy car championship. So another open wheel type of car, which some of the drivers really love, other drivers not so much. But a packed calendar coming up, starting at Long Beach here today, and then we've got a few oval circuits thrown in there as well. And then some driver favourites as well, such as Laguna Seca. Circuit of the Americas is going to be fascinating in these cars, really fast circuit. And then Watkins Glen to round things off at round 8 there, very bumpy track. But yeah, back to today, Long Beach it is we're starting the championship with. And we've got a whole field of drivers waiting to take part in this one. Very bumpy, temporary street circuit, which is obviously a very famous street circuit as well, having hosted Formula 1, IndyCar, and the format on screen just quickly: 10-minute qualifying, 25 laps for ovals, 30 minutes for the circuit and road courses, and accelerated tyre erosion, making things very interesting, Alex.
Yeah, definitely is. We see the qualifying now. Sabrosa taking a great first qualifying for round 1, closely followed by D-Man, and then AlexCDL in third, all super close. You can see the top 4 is Roger the Dodger, also a very fast driver indeed. Scooter is 5th, Thorpe Brown 6th, Stewart 7th, Twin Classic 8th, Loopy 9th, and Alex Brown 10th, and I believe 2 other drivers we can't quite see.
Yeah, it's Gazelle and Muckheads, and they're on the grid. The Revs rising for a new championship, and they're underway. And it's, I think that's Twingo getting a great start there, skiving through the field already. It's Rosa and D-Man at the front end. Oh, it's a crash already. Coming down the main straight. That's Super Rosa. Alex Brown's involved as well. Not Super Rosa, sorry, Twingo-tastic. Alex Brown's involved. Scuderia Sam as well. Roger the Dodger's also been involved in an incident by the looks of it with possibly AlexCDL. I think he might have come to blows with slightly, or Stewart. Where's Stewart? No, Stewart's still up there. There was another incident. There's a couple of incidents going on. There's Stewart. Oh, he's in an incident himself. Now he's facing the barrier the wrong way. There's cars going past. He can't reset the car. Disaster start there for Stuart Davis as well. Roger the Dodger, Stalker Brown, Stuart Davis, all down there. Scuderia Sam's down there as well. Muckheads now trying to battle away with Muck G. So another Muck battle going on here. Muckheads just ahead of Muck G at the moment. They're in 5th and 6th, really benefited. Oh no! Oh, big crash now. That's a blue car facing the wrong way. It's Twingo, he's fallen down the order. That's very unfortunate for Twingo, but that promotes this Muck battle now up to 4th and 5th. Muck G ahead now of Muck Evs, and closing down on them now is Free Gazelle and Scuderia Sam, despite going backwards in the start there. Oh, Muck Evs now down the inside of Muck G, and they're still side by side as they come out of the last corner here. Very tight hairpin is the last corner, perfect for dive bombing people, and Muck G and Muck Evs just about got through there, but now Free Gazelle and Scuderia Sam having a real good chance to join in this battle for 4th, 5th, 6th and 7th, so all kicking off here on the opening lap of this championship as the drivers start to get their heads around these Indy cars.
Yes, as you can see, it's really tight tracks also, it won't be easy to overtake. You can just see a train forming behind Look at G's. McEvs just taps the wall there as we go back to Scuderia Sam in 7th place, looking for a place around there. The cars will have boost, we're probably using it, and as you can see, Sam on the controller. Oh, that's Loopy and McEvs off into the barrier, and that provokes Free Gazelle at 4th of all. Very briefly, Sam takes him on the right hand there, and Sam up to 4th now.
Yeah, and bits of bodywork flying all the way down the straight here. So Scuderia Sam benefited 3 positions there in a couple of corners, up to 4th position now. So it hasn't been too bad a start for him after the initial carnage. And we're looking at Super Rosa and D-Man 221, who is leading the way as D-Man, just ahead of Super Rosa, so he must have passed him at some point. AlexCDL's lost a little bit touch with these guys, a champion from the Formula C Championship, of course, after a tight duel with Scuderia Sam for that one. So current champion in 3rd, and D-Man 221, who showed a lot of promise in the Formula C cars, just ahead of Super Rosa, who seems to be really returning to form.
Yeah, definitely. These two definitely have the pace. Oh, that's D-Man in the barrier there. It's on a very tricky corner that promotes Sabrosa up to the lead of the race. D-Man won't probably be liking that, so he'll try and get back to it. But early stages, these two have definitely got the pace over the rest of the grid. Even Alex, who's on his own currently in 3rd place. But what I have to remember as well is the accelerated tyre wear, so pitting could become quite influential in this race, but we'll have to wait and see as we see some very different lines here from the mid-pack.
Yeah, it is a circuit. Despite being a street circuit, it is quite wide in certain points, isn't it? So the drivers can experiment with a lot of different lines, especially around the last couple of corners, with a long sweeping left-hander followed by that tight hairpin that we've already seen a couple of dives into. So yeah, it is a circuit where you can make overtaking manoeuvres stick, isn't it? And you have to just be careful of those little barriers sticking out in certain places, as we saw with D-Man now, who just clipped one and lost the lead, but he's only a second behind Subrosa now. Meanwhile, we're looking at McEvs. Oh, he clips the barrier now, and that allows Stalker Brown through, so Stalker Brown up into 11th. Stalker Brown hasn't done much practice in these IndyCars so far, so he showed a lot of promise in Formula C, but he's down battling in 11th at the moment, but we do expect him to pick up the pace throughout this championship.
Yeah, definitely. I think speaking to McEvs before the race, he said he's done no practice at all, so this is very fresh to him on a very tricky circuit. So you have to imagine for him this is just a get used to it round for him until he gets up to speed. But 7th place now, Roger. Really unlucky at the start. Like you said, looked like he collided with Alex going into a space that wasn't there, and put him back down to 7th, and he's fighting with, who is that? Alex Brown and McGee. So that's a good little battle, and it's nice to have Alex Brown back as well. He's missed a few rounds, but he enjoys these, so I think he was straight on it as soon as he found out.
Yeah, Alex Brown absolutely loves the high downforce stuff. Rising on board with Alex now. He's got Free Gazelle in his sights. He's sustained that slipstream. It's a really long straight here. If you can get a really good slipstream effect, a really good toe down here, Alex Brown absolutely loves these cars, and you can see he's got a lot of pace and he wants to find a way through so he can try and chase Scuderia Sam, his good friend, up the road there in 4th position. So driving hard now. He hasn't practiced these cars much, but Alex doesn't tend to do a lot of practice, and he has only just recovered from COVID as well, so fair play to him here. A very tough circuit for the drivers to get to grips with these cars as well in the opening round, really thrown in the deep end.
Yeah, and add to the fact as well they've got to learn the boost system on these cars. It's not like a normal... Oh, and change of the lead there, D-Man back through on Subrosa. I have to imagine Subrosa's made a mistake, but Subrosa looking around the outside doesn't quite do it. He could have a dive here. I think it's better if it goes to the wide line and try to get the cut back. See D-Man just nipping the wall there, and Subrosa will now have a good toe and will probably use that boost, but you only get 10 boosts on the road circuits, none on the oval when we go to the ovals. You'll see it might be working here. Very tricky looking down the inside. No, I think it's better if it doesn't want to cause an accident, as it looks like Alex is catching up in 3rd. The gap down to 2 seconds now.
Yeah, look how close D-Man got to the wall there, coming out of that very tricky little square.
Who's in the wall?
There. Oh, Subrosa's hit the wall now, and that's going to give Alex a chance if he's close enough, but he's not quite, and it lets D-Man off the hook as well a little bit now. So the top 3 spread out a little bit now, equidistant between them, but 1 second or so. You can see a big gap back down the road behind them though to Scuderia Sam. 9 seconds, 10 seconds back from the lead. So these 3 really are out in front at the moment. So they got a good advantage. Alex DDL brushing the wall as well. They're really, really pushing hard here. You can see by their lap times as well. The 107.9, fastest lap of all the drivers the last time round from Alex DDL. And what's this going on now? This is Roger the Dodger and Alex Brown and Free Gazelle all back in the way with Luke and McGee not far behind. It looks like Alex Brown has fallen back behind Roger the Dodger. Roger's really on a mission here, and he's tucked underneath the wing now of Free Gazelle. He goes down the outside because Free Gazelle always nearly 3 abreast as Alex comes down the inside. They just about avoid contact, although they know they don't. Free Gazelle's over, Roger's involved too. Alex Brown was also involved, and now it's Luke and McGee as well coming through now, taking no prisoners. So it really did not work out well at all there for Roger the Dodger or Free Gazelle. You can see as they went three cars into one corner there. It never really ends well, does it?
No, Roger's card really said there it was spelt doom from the start with 3 cars going wide there. It's not really a call you can do. 2 maybe, but after all that, Roger's still behind Free Gazelle, so he's still got to try and get past him.
No, it's Stewart now.
Fun? Oh, yes, sorry.
Stewart Davis now, in the other Doom car.
That's going to be fun. The 2 rivals being in matching liveries. That's going to spell doom for us, but Stu now, that really put Free Gazelle back. It's 9th place now, and Stu now fighting up the pack. He likes Indy cars, especially when that's Free Gazelle off into the barrier. Can't really blame him there, that's an off-camber corner, so it is quite hard to get the car around, but
yeah.
We're on lap 7 now, so you have to imagine these soft tyres be like jelly at the moment. No grip, just understeer, and it'd be horrible for the drivers.
Absolutely, yeah. So all these drivers are going to start struggling now. Free Gazelle, unfortunately, they're up in 5th place. He's having such a strong race. But yeah, just got a little bit caught out in that three-way sort of scrap that was going on into that corner, and Stuart Davis now through as well. So we'll have to wait and see what happens with these pit stops. Like you say, Alex, they're all on the soft compound because there's a bit of bodywork going flying there, as Alex Didiel's right on the back of Sabrosa for second and third now. But yeah, the soft tyres are the default, aren't they, Alex? And in the pits, then they can decide whether to stick with those or whether to go with the hards.
Yeah, especially for the road course. I think oval's slightly different. If it's the super speedway, that could be
Makev's or Twingo.
Yeah, one of those teams. But going back to the lead, it's a three-way battle for the lead. Sabrosa looking around the outside of D-Man. Alex following very close to see where this goes. Alex on the outside of D-Man trying to go around the long way. Sabrosa on the inside of 3 into 1. Said it didn't work, and these two have proven us wrong. Alex going to say, D-Man squeezed into the wall. It's unfortunate, but it was bound to happen. But Alex Proton up to second, and Sabrosa takes the lead.
Yeah, amazing three-way scrap for the lead here of the race as we head on now to lap 9, and they'll all be thinking about pitting soon. So who's going to blink first? Who's going to pit first? Of course, the earlier you pit, the less tyres you'll have at the end of the race. As Sabrosa magically fixes his rear wing there. Did you see that? just magically reappeared. Alex Didiel will be thinking he's got some more downforce now, but it's not going to stop Alex Didiel. We know he's a hard charger. Well, all these drivers are. Oh no! And he's charged a bit too hard into the back of Sabrosa's car. Sabrosa clipped the tyre, and that allows D-Man back through where Sabrosa's still in the lead by the looks of it. Alex Didiel, though, really lost out there, unfortunately. And he's looking in his mirrors now. Who's going to be next? Scuderia Sam in the red machine now coming at him. As a car they're going past. I think it's a lapped car of Twingo or Makev's that they're going past there. And Scuderia Sam now can see Alex Didiel. So these two old foes, old rivals, old friends are now back on the same bit of circuit together.
Yeah, what a shame that happened. It was really building up to a good battle, but this should be another good battle. Like I said, two of our foes battling for a podium, so fireworks could kick off. But looking at it, besides tyres, you see Makev's going very wide, probably struggling with his tyres. They may have to pit for fuel, as these cars like to burn the fuel very fast, so imagine it'll be tyres and a little splash and dash, but it'd be interesting to see what tyres to go for. You could try and eke these out quite long, go for another set of softs and see how you get in the end, or you can go on the hard tyre, which will easily go to the end, but will be a bit slower. It's on board with Loopy. It's such a long, it's not even a straight, it's a long right-hander with what feels like the world's longest pit lane, and that's a really late dive. Compromises him a bit on the exit, as you can see. Alex Brown can jolt away there, but Loopy really pushing hard for that 6th place.
Yeah, it really is. He really wants that 6th place off Alex Brown, and Alex can see him coming. I think Alex is starting to struggle with those tyres a little bit now, and obviously coming back into the championship after not having done a few rounds. Oh, and he's passing Twingo or Makev's, and there's been a bit of a collision, and that allows Luke McShee through. Really opportunistic there from the Scotsman, and he just nips past the Welshman and says thank you very much, riding back on board with Alex now. You won't take too kindly to that. A bit of a sort of Hacken and Schumacher manoeuvre there as they're going around the lapped car, wasn't it? And coming down into the last few corners, riding on board with Alex Brown. You can see how much lock they need to get through some of these corners, and even that wasn't enough as Alex clips the barrier and knocks his rear wing off. And look, it's D-Man now in the pits, Alex, the first of the front runners to blink.
Yeah, he's gone in. See if he'll change tyres. The car should raise up. Yeah, tyres being changed. What's he go on to? It'd be quite interesting because you'll be able to tell easily on these. The sidewall will look a bit different. Well, hopefully it does in the replay. It looks like another set of softs, if that's correct. We'll have to see when the other guys change their tyres. But
it seemed quite quick to me, that, Alex. Do you think he took fuel?
You'd have to imagine so, because they probably won't make it towards the end, as it's a long race, half-an-hour race. But he might have just gone for the bare minimum and tried his luck. But let's for the race sake hope he got it right.
Talking about the pit exit there as well, the pit exit feeds right into the racing line in the braking zone, doesn't it, for turn 1? And the pit entry itself as well is quite a sort of dash in. See Alex, is he going to go? No, he's not going to go, but we'll see it at some point. It's quite a dash into the pits as well. So the entry and the exit points for this pit lane are quite tricky, let's say. You really have to see who's coming when you exit.
Yeah, the entry is really hard because you sort of got a bolt for it straight on the right after that awful hairpin. But we see Sabrosa now trying to avoid D-Man's undercut. What's he going for? Obviously tyres, obviously fuel as well. that's putting him quite far back. It's such a long pit lane that it does take quite a long time compared to the other tracks. So D-Man at 8th place with Sabrosi was leading. I have to imagine he's come out in 7th because it looks like it's still going. Oh, here we go. What's going on here? Loopy and Alex still battling away for 4th place. It's a good little battle between these two.
Oh, it's fantastic. They've had some good battles in the past, I remember too. Back when Alex has raced a little bit more regularly. We haven't seen him for a while, like we said. But yeah, these two are really getting stuck in, finding themselves in the same bit of track. And look, Subrosa is ahead of D-Man 221 by the looks of it. So that's how that little battle is shaping up at the moment. So Alex DL is leading. We have to wait and see what happens when he comes. Oh, he's pitting now, so we're able to see straight away. It's about a 30-second gap it is to those two there. So we'll have to wait and see what happens. The Scuderia Sam goes through now and takes the lead of the race. So where's Alex going to feed out then?
Depends what he does. Obviously, tyres and fuel. He was due to that incident behind them, obviously, but it depends if they battle or get traffic. So should technically come out behind them, probably 8th position, but we'll say we have to see. There's a very close pack race. Who's that in the background? Is that's
Stuart Davis?
Yeah, oh, almost straight into the background. Really late braking. That was. Talking of late braking, straight over the roundabout there. Was going straight on, so yeah, that's quite a tricky corner because you don't want to go straight up to the roundabout as tempting as it is for a shortcut. As we see D-Man coming out, where is he coming to Alex? Yeah, Alex coming out in 8th place, so about right. What's he gone to? It says soft tyres, but I believe he went onto the harder black tyres, so I don't think we should.
Oh, no.
Who's that?
I think it's Stalker Brown. They're just lapping him, and he spun round as they were coming up, and now this is giving Stuart Davis a chance, has it, to go through? Yes, he's past Luke McGee. Alex Brown's benefited from that little incident because he's up into 3rd place now as Alex Brown. So fantastic driver. Stuart Davis just ahead of Luke McGee, is old rival, old friend as well. They've had a lot of battles in the past. Where is Luke McGee actually? It looks like he really lost out from that because he's fallen a few seconds behind as Stuart Davis now takes the opportunity to pit, and I think that's Luke McGee coming in behind him. So this will be interesting, a direct pit race between the two teams here.
Yeah, it'd be good to see where they come out. Obviously, Luke will go past you and hold him up slightly. That'll help him. We've seen McGebbs in the pits, also in 12th position. It looks like Sam must have pitted as well because he's going down the order, down in 6th place now. Alex Brown up to 2nd, and see McEv's there chilling in the pits. I wonder if he's DNF'd.
Yeah, it seems to be an awful long time in the pits there, and his car's not hoisted up on the invisible tracks either. It's with the invisible pit crew, so I think McEv's might actually be out of this race, very sadly. Unfortunately, so we lost one of the blue cars. Twingo is still the other blue car out on track at the moment. Stuart Davis and Luke McGee now head back out onto the circuit. Where are they going to feed back out? There's Twingo just ahead of Stuart Davis. So the fast starting Twingo, who would have been well up there, I think, in the first few laps if it wasn't for the coming together he had halfway down the straight, just a few hundred yards after the start of the race. Is just ahead of Stuart Davis now. So he's on old tyres, let's not forget those. Stuart's on brand new fresh tyres. So we have to wait and see what the difference is going to be between them here. And McGee's not far behind either. But this is a battle now for 5th, really, isn't it, Alex?
Yes, especially with Alex Brown yet to pit in 2nd place. And I think Roger hasn't pitted either, so it could be a battle for 4th in the end, depending on when Roger comes out. But it could be interesting towards the end, especially if anyone saved the boosts. Like we said at the start, only 10. All of that's going to go straight into the wall. His tyres are completely gone. You can see Stu can just ride right behind him, take the lines he wants, and really put pressure on him.
Yeah, Twingo's battle today, to be honest, he hasn't pitted yet, so his battle really is probably with Stalker Brown, would you say? Looking at the timings there?
Yeah, looking at it, and I don't know if you saw there in the background, Roger just diving into the pit, so he's taking his pit stop now.
Yeah, good spot that, Al. So Roger now in the pits, like you say. Where's he going to come back out? Looking at the timings, it's going to be around, maybe just behind Scuderia Sam, or just ahead of this battle.
Yeah, I think
sort of in between that.
30th second pit stop. Yeah, I think you're right. He should come out just ahead of this. And look how slow they have to go. It must feel like an eternity doing that, especially at the speeds these things can go. But car's up, car down. fuel in, and away he should go at any moment now.
Oh, it's a slow getaway there. I don't know if there was a car in the pit lane, was it? No, it's empty pit lane. A little bit of a slow getaway there. Not sure what held him up, but that's Scuderia Sam going through on the pit straight now. You can see on the map there on the right hand side. So Roger now will be looking at a similar sort of map, because the drivers do pay attention to that, don't they, when they're driving around?
Yeah.
And he'll be looking to see where the car's coming out, and he knows now he's just behind Scuderia Sam. So that's the same. Oh, it's a bit of bodywork going flying. That's Twingo taking a chunk out of the back of Stuart Davis, I think, who's just got past Twingo, and now Luke McGee has to try and do that. So Luke McGee's carrying a bit of extra weight though. Did you see that?
Yeah.
I don't know what he's got wedged in his car.
I think that's the rear wing of Stu Davis. I think he's got some extra downforce for the street circuit. Must think it's Monaco. Oh, he's had enough of that. It's not worked for him. But yeah, he's pushing quite hard, so he'll be trying to catch Twingo up ahead. Looks like Stu's got past Twingo, so the tyres have really gone to pot for him, and it's not helping him at all. Is that Alex Brown now? And yeah, Alex Brown down 5th, so he must have pitted or had an incident. But Stu is really pushing now in this middle 3/4 away of the race. He's really got the hammer down and got used to these tyres.
Yeah, it just seems to have come alive. Oh no! That's Luke McGee and Twingo coming together halfway down the straight there. Twingo, I think he was trying to get out of the way of Luke McGee quite possibly, and didn't realise he was there maybe, as Luke McGee got a great exit off the last corner. Unfortunately now that's put him well out of touch with the battle for 5th and 6th with Alex Brown and Stuart Davis. Really unfortunate for him. And D-Man as well. Look at D-Man's all the way back to 7th, so he's clearly had an issue there. I think it might have been some sort of fueling issue, Alex.
Yeah, we did say it was a fast pit stop, so he must have underfueled and realised that and tried to correct the mistake, but it's bound to...
That's wrecked his chances of a win.
Yeah, definitely. It looks like it could be down to Sabrosa Arts or Scuderia Sam. You can never doubt him with these. But it's kind of expected Twingo and Luffy to have an incident at some point. They had plenty of incidents in the Formula C Championship we've just finished. But back with Alex Brown, he hasn't raced it for ages. He jumped in and he's in 5th. That must annoy a few of the drivers.
Yeah, definitely. He seems to just not need much practice. Jumps in anything, and especially high downforce thing, like we said. And he's just immediately fast, isn't he? Especially Stuart Davis must especially annoy as well, just behind there. And it's not like it's an easy track either. No,
it's probably one of the trickiest tracks they'll go to. You have the seriously slow final corner there where you've got to brake as you're turning left, so you can lose the back of the car really easily.
And full lock as well.
Yeah, full lock, and with bad tyres, as you've seen, you can go straight into the barrier. Then you've got loads of 90-degree corners, some off camber, some with horrible curbs, and walls waiting to hit you. As you see, Sabrosa, he's lost a lot of time to Alex in 2nd place. Wonder if he's got an issue.
Well, look at his lap time, 109.9 and a 108.2 for Alex, and a 107.6 for Scuderia Sam. So the top 3 are converging here. So we might see a 3-way battle before long, and a 106.7 for Roger. So the top 4 are all the quickest on the circuit, but in reverse order at the moment, apart from D-Man, who's obviously short-fielded it a bit.
Yeah, so final laps can be very tasty. We see Stu going for the overtake here. Inside should have it, may block off the corner. No, he's very kind, gives Alex the room around the outside. That's brave, but that's what happens when you trust your car and takes the spot easily. That was a great overtaking move by Stu. Yeah, great bit of driving from Alex Brown as well, of course, because he could have easily just shut the door there. But they allowed very clean racing. That's exactly what we want to see, isn't it? And side-by-side action right around the outside from Stuart Davis. Great driving. So Stu now up into 5th. Be interested to see if he can use this pace. D-Man's not far behind. Oh, he's not going to help his cause though by doing that. But he's not far behind this battle here now. So 5th place is still up for grabs for D-Man. He can salvage something from this afternoon if he can try and pass these 2 in front of him. He's got a lot of pace, as we've seen earlier. Definitely, but it won't be easy, and especially if he keeps hitting the barriers like he's doing. That green car will be black and blue by the end of the race. But looking on the inside of Alex Brown, he's definitely got the pace over him. It's just a case of where to overtake. If he has boost around here and gets a good exit, he could take him into the same position Stu did. But Alex might be wise to that, but he might just let him go through, try and change Stu and slow stew downs.
Oh, look at this.
Yeah. Oh, that's Sabrosa into the barrier. I think he's got really poor front end grip, so whether those tyres are gone already, but that's allowed Alex into the lead as he's hit the barrier. But side by side, Sabrosa coming back around the outside. Alex, around the outside, that's well done. I think Alex just let him have the room, but Alex now looking on the inside. Will he repay the favour, try and break? No, Sabrosa. He's gone wide that line of Alex to get the cut back. It's a drag race now. Sabrosa's trying to get the slipstream. Goes tucks back in. Looking on the inside, will Alex be kind? Yeah, he's coming to him. Sort of shuts the door on him. I think he knows he has better grip, and that's Alex in the lead. And Sabrosa really struggling with front end grip. I wonder if those tyres have gone off already.
Oh no, he's got caught in the barrier slightly as well. Oh, that's fantastic driving from the pair of them there. Sabrosa's so brave late on the brakes on those worn tyres to initially get back ahead of Alex after being initially overtaken. Stalker Brown just behind him there, so he's a lap down. He's not going to bother Sabrosa too much, but Sabrosa really struggling. You can see the understeer he was suffering with. And actually as well on his way now, already 2 seconds up the road, only a few corners after passing Sabrosa. And now Scuderia Sam's homing in as well, who stopped quite a few laps later than Sabrosa, but he's also on the soft tyres, whereas Alex is on the hard tyres. So Scuderia Sam's tyres are going to go off at some point as well, just like Sabrosa's. But can he make it pay for him in these stages now, where he's got the grip to do something with it? Just about gets past Stalker Brown now, lets him go, and look at the car lengths he's taken out of Sabrosa with these fresh tyres. Sabrosa's tyres are absolutely dead, Alex.
Yeah, they're absolutely knackered. Oh, that's Stalker Brown into the barrier, but he gets out of the way for Roger, and talking of Roger, he's closing up. Oh, these two hitting, they're barging and bumping. Sabrosa doing everything to stop him getting past, but in the end there's nothing he can do, and it's a really close racing between the front three, and shows what you can do when you trust the other drivers. They do all trust each other, not to do any daft things. But look at Roger, he's absolutely flying at the moment. 1:07.5 last lap, faster than any of the leaders. Alex for 1:09, 1:08 from Roger again, fastest driver on the field at the moment. So he could be gunning for first place. There's still plenty of time for him to do it. As we see Alex CDL now going for the roundabout. Oh no, he's clipped the barrier, he's around! Oh no, he's done it again.
Scuderia Sam must think it's his birthday from facing the wrong way and basically last going into turn 1. And he's now facing Alex CDL for the lead of the race with just a few laps to go, a few minutes to go. After Alex CDL clips the barrier, it's so easy to do. And this is why this championship and these drivers and these cars will keep everyone right on their toes, right to the line, won't it? And Roger the Dodger now only 1.7 seconds back from the lead. So the top 3 cars separated by 2 seconds. And Scuderia Sam right under the wing now of Alex CDL. Alex CDL makes him go the long way around. Which way is he going to go? He tries the cut back now, and he's going to go right around the outside of Alex CDL. Wheel to wheel stuff between the green and red machines here. And Scuderia Sam gets the inside line. Full lock around the corner, and he's got the position now. He's got the lead from Alex CDL. But Alex CDL is going to have the slipstream, and Roger the Dodger just behind can see all this kicking off, waiting for it all to unfold.
It looks like it's going to be fireworks for the last few laps now. 2 drivers that have a little rivalry with race wins and championships. They're even on the championships now. See Alex taking a bit later break, and Sam hits the barrier. He's into the roundabout now. That's not the ideal line, but there's nothing Alex can do. There's not a place you can overtake. It's just going to be a case of, will Alex's hard tyres be able to let him catch Sam, and will Sam's tyres actually hold out? So you saw how Henry's just completely died on him. So that's the worry Sam has, and it's also the worry Alex has. Is Roger's right behind him, 1.2 seconds, and these two battling. It's just going to promote him even higher to actually start battling. Alex into the wall now. He's really pushing, but it's just allowing Sam to get away.
Yeah, Roger's going to be right on the back as well now of Alex, so it's going to be a 3-way battle before long, and going into the last lap possibly, or at least the last but 1 lap. And you can see how close they all are. Scuderia Sam got a terrible exit there onto the straight, and he's darting across the circuit to try and break that slipstream. Alex CDL's hunting for that toe. He wants that toe, and he's really got the toe now. Is he going to look down the inside? Scuderia Sam moves to the inside, says you're not coming down the inside, you're going to go the outside or use the cutback. And Alex CDL tries to use the cutback, and he's got a great run here, but it's not quite enough. The run isn't quite long enough into the roundabout, so he's going to have to stay behind for the next few corners unless there's any mistakes. But the drivers have to be inch perfect here in order to try and nick this win. And they do want to lose a podium, but you know, Sabrosa isn't that far behind still. He's only 8 seconds, so don't count him out completely.
No, definitely not. And from what went from 2 drivers at the start, just gone away, has gone to a really close battle at the end between 3 drivers he didn't expect, as they're all involved in crashes. But Roger just tapping what Alex trying to get slipstream, Sam weaving like a snake going down the back stretch. No one daring to do a move just yet. They're holding their cars because they're both in the barrier. Let's go allow Roger to catch up. You can see everyone's struggling. Alex got a massive oversteer into the second last corner. He's diving, he's going for it.
Alex Hill.
This side by
side exiting now. And it's a drag race to the line, but there's another lap to go. Quite remarkably, there's one more lap to go here. There must have just been a few seconds left on the counter. Alex Hill gets crowded slightly there as he's looking around the outside. He's going to have to switch to the outside now, coming into turn 1. And Scooter Sam's making him go the wrong way round. Roger the Dodger, what's he going to do? He's going to pick his line very carefully. He must be so tempted to just send it in some place there. They're both destroying the flower beds now in the roundabout. They're going to have to replace those flowers. And coming around the tight twisty section now in the middle of the lap. And they're going to head back onto the back straight here. It's an overtaking spot as well at the end of this straight, isn't it? Is anyone going to go for a lunge, or are they going to wait for the last few corners? It looks like they're going to wait.
No, Roger's wide, he's into the... no. Just missed the barrier, but that's him out. You have to imagine he's going to be well back unless he really goes on the brakes here. Where is he?
Alex has run wide now. This is going to give Roger a chance if he's close enough. And coming down into the last few corners, is there going to be another lap, I wonder? There might actually be another lap here, Alex.
Yeah, there's plenty.
To Scuderia Sam's dismay.
Yeah, it depends how they go. It might be a couple of seconds left on the clock. They're all hitting, they're all barging. That's another wing gone. Some collector's gone and picked that up probably. But yeah, it looks like will there be another lap? Yeah, just time for another lap to, like you said, to Sam's dismay. That's all going to happen again. But he's got a bit of a gap this time, and Roger's falling back. But Alex is really good on the brakes into this first corner. You see he's going the normal line. He's almost inside the gearbox. Sorry, Sam, and he's hit the barrier. And look at them, they're all nose to tail. It's almost like a train going through there.
Yeah, well, we've heard of a truly train, haven't we? So maybe it is that sort of thing. But Roger Dodger's fallen back now, looking at it. He's fallen back from the train. Alex Didiel's nearly putting it in the barrier once again. Scuderia Sam's just trying to stay on the road now, as these tyres are pretty much wearing away. And you can see Alex Didiel looks like the one with the most confidence here, has to be said. In terms of moving the car around, he seems to have more confidence in his harder tyres at this stage of the race. But there's only a few corners to go, so can he use that advantage and try and get the win here in the last few corners? Scuderia Sam knows Alex Didiel's nicked a win off him before in the last few corners of a race, hasn't he? So he'll want to try and not let that happen. He's run wide though. This is giving Alex Didiel a chance. He's got the inside line, but he's going to be the outside line for the last corner. Coming around the last corner now, side by side, full lock. And they're both in the barrier slightly, but Scuderia Sam manages to get out of the corner in the lead, and Alex Didiel's in the slipstream, but it's not quite enough, and Roger Dodger comes home third. Scuderia Sam takes the win just ahead of Alex Didiel, and Stalker Brown a lap down there, but had a fantastic view of all that action kicking off. What a great finish to a race.
Yeah, what a brilliant finish. It's all action for the last 4 laps. It looks like Stu's fallen in place to D-Man. D-Man have got him on the last lap, it seems.
Yeah, while we were watching all that action, D-Man, fantastic recovery drive from D-Man, because he had to pit twice effectively there, so great drive to get back to 5th ahead of Stuart Davis. Alex Brown in 7th by the looks of it. Twingo-tastic, a good drive as well, coming home in 8th there, ahead of Stalker Brown and Luca Mucci and Free Gazelle. Free Gazelle really fell away in the end. Not sure what happened to Free Gazelle. He was up in 5th, wasn't he, at one point, having a great race.
Yeah.
There's a party going on the straight.
The laugh after the race antics going on, but yeah, he's really fallen away. The 11th place effectively last is looked like McEv's DNF. Did you see Twingo going through for 8th place? But yeah, what a fantastic race and a great way to start off a new championship.
Yeah, look at that, 2/10 on the line between Scuderia Sam and Alex Didiel, and only 1.2 seconds covering the top 3 there with Roger in 3rd. A great recovery drive from Roger and Scuderia Sam. They're both well down the order at turn 1. And Alex Didiel wasn't without incident as well, so all 3 of them there, really good recovery drives. So Bruce, unfortunately his tyres just fell off, maybe pitted a little bit too early, Alex?
Yeah, there's a possibility. We'll have to find out for the next round and see what actually happened, to find out what happened with that little mystery. But talking of great comeback drives, D-Man, like I said, pitted twice. Imagine it was for fueling issue, just Pippin's due for 5th, but as we see the driving standing is pretty good, but Scuderia Sam takes the lead with 40 points, obviously followed by Alex Didiel with 35 and Roger in 3rd, but it's early doors, well, very early doors, it's first round, but hopefully we should see the team championship next. I don't think we mentioned much of the teams if it shows.
No, we didn't actually. I can't even remember who's with who, but we'll find out in a bit now. But yeah, ovals coming up next. So you can imagine some of the drivers, such as Frigazelle, Luke McGee, they love ovals, don't they? Alex Brown likes ovals as well. So hopefully those drivers can make up some ground in the championship there at the next circuit, because literally anything can happen on an oval circuit.
Davidson, there's the team stances. Scuderia man takes first place, so I imagine that's Scuderia 17 man ahead of Team Spin. We're from Alex Brown, who's a team all himself, in third. Crazy Bruce in fourth, and Fantastic fifth, and Loopy Gazelle in sixth. So yeah, some interesting team names there.
Yeah, definitely. Team Spin, of course, is the Team Doomsday cars as well. Not Doom cars, even. Yeah, next time out, we've also got a special appearance, haven't we, Alex, from Team Crash and Bash, remember them?
Yeah.
So that'll be interesting, really, to add something into the mix.
Yeah, and I think there's a few drivers joining just for the ovals. I think Chris Lockley also makes his return, so some fan favourites making their comeback.
Yeah, I can't wait to see that. And yeah, so from Alex and I, thanks for joining us for round one at the IndyCar Championship, and we hope to see you next time for round two.